Okay, I'm a teacher, so I have to look at everybody. And I have a really, really loud mouth, so I don't even need a microphone, but I'll use it. Before I ask some of these other questions, there's one that will probably take care of everything that I was hoping somebody could address. Because I am under the understanding this court-ordered settlement stipulation is under litigation itself. I understand that our zoning board is being sued by our own township commission for permitting this conditional use approval. I don't know if it's that 1704 zoning in the first place, but can anybody speak to how it is that we're having this hearing in the first place if there's still litigation that has not been resolved?
Just to clarify, there is no pending litigation. What had happened
There
was,
isn't.
excuse me, the zoning hearing board reached a decision on a variance application that the applicant made. The township took an appeal from that decision. They disagreed with certain aspects of it. After some wranglings, there was a settlement agreement of that litigation, which resulted in the May 2012 settlement agreement, which was approved by the court.
So there is no longer any litigation.
There's no pending litigation between the applicant and the township.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that was not what I had understood. Also, I had a question about why it's still being considered a nonprofit. I understand that it was already called a planned institutional community back then, but if you look at the part that could be possibly these houses sold to whoever, and you say you're not getting a profit through the institution, but Chuck, being the building planner and builder that you are, and also being part of the religious community, I would think that you are going to, as a member who everybody knows and knows is a good builder, benefit quite well financially from this venture, that you definitely want to see it put through.
Well, excuse me, if that's a question, I'd direct you not to answer it.
Thank you.
Because it has no relevance to the application.
Also, as far as the water, this aquifer in the area is one of the cleanest. We have students from Westchester Area School District to come out and do stream studies here. I have a question. We have to word the water things as questions. So, the water is on the same aquifer or not as what I have for Buck Run? Where I'm at the bottom of the hill, right? And I will point for everybody to see. My property's right here. So, I wanted to know, if the wells run dry, or you have to go to public water, or we have to go to public water, who pays and who will guarantee that sewage will not leach from the septic systems into the aquifer, and or that the wells in the area will not run dry? Perhaps that's a civil engineer question.
Mr. Ginty, do you know any of those
Do
answers?
you know the answer to that question?
Well, I will say that we did have a water study done by Stephen Jacket, who's a local man, and the water study came out in a positive way that we would not affect the wells. He did a complete study for us. We originally applied, we were told by the township we needed to go to public sewer and public water. We developed a whole system. We spent over $50,000 doing studies. We went to the board, and then the board said, no, we don't want you to have public water now. So we've gone that route, and they won't let us have public water or public sewer. We've drawn the line. We can't have that. So our only alternative is to go to the wells, which we had a study done. And we will be submitting that study as part of the, I guess, the land development. As far as the sewage goes, I think you need to really brush up on how a septic system works, how the whole system. Go online and plug in Google sewage systems, and you'll see how they work and how it's almost impossible. All your wells have a pipe that goes down and is cemented by code in the CCHD into bedrock, so that our sewage is not a problem. Nobody's sewage is a problem. It's really the runoff from the farm fields, you know, from the chemicals that they use on products that might affect your well more than the sewage, because the sewage breaks down. And all this is available scientifically. Even if you go to the Chester County Board of Health, they have information for you regarding it.
Considering I'm a teacher, I love to look things up and learn. I will do that. Thank you, Chuck. Also, in the future, who will pay for any corrections that might be made if you're planning and, you know, checking for wells and things end up that if that's not the way you thought it would work out and area wells do dry up? Who's going to pay for that?
I have no answer for that. It's a big maybe. Will it? Will it not? I've never known the wells to dry up, and I've never been for 36 years on that property. Maintaining about 5 to 6 properties, nobody's ever complained about the well going dry.
But there haven't been 23 homes built on it before either in a clustered area in a, quote, institutional community, end quote. Also, like someone said for the Brandywine Conservancy, now, I'm also here to represent Mr. Stewart's Cheshire Foxhounds as a landowner and a social member and an equestrian and Chester County Fox Hunters Association. And I know that we use that land on which to fox hunt, not very often, but fairly regularly. So I'm assuming that there will be no more hunting, either bow and arrow, gun, or fox hunters on that property.
There is no hunting now. There's children that actually play in those areas and walk through the woods and the fields. So we have been allowing hunting there, bow and arrow hunting. But this past couple of years, we decided it was too much of a risk for the children. So we stopped.
Well, I'm still a landowner with Mr. Stewart's Cheshire Foxhounds because my property borders yours, and they are hunt. It's called, they call it, I forget what country they are. You are Tuesday country or Thursday country or something. But anyway, I would think Mrs. Hannum, rest in peace, would be here telling you guys to put it in the Conservancy if she were around, and perhaps that would be like the other gentleman spoke, a way to guarantee to everyone that the 75 acres would remain open space. Bawa's dead, being a French teacher, I would like to recommend that if you would like a European-style village, then France is a great place for terrorists. Thank you.
Amen.
It's entirely inappropriate to make those implications, associations, or types of comments. I think it's, those are things that should be made on the record. To the extent that you have anything to say about this particular application and the conditional use application and the evidence they're presenting, you stick to that. Otherwise, I'd ask you not to make those comments.